great thing about spaceships and stories is that every person on that ship fulfills a different role. They all have their own cultural background and personalities fit to that role, and for long-distance voyages, every person on that ship feels disconnected from their home. The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. Emphasis on the long way, less so the small angry planet. I made a mistake when I read this book. I came in with the wrong expectations. At first glance, I believed this was a sci-fi epic, a gritty journey on a rundown starship to an impossible destination. Wrong. What this book really is cozy sci-fi. It's a season of a TV sitcom set in the stars. So settle down, wrap yourself in a weighted blanket, and enjoy the comforting sounds of the vacuum of space. Rosemary Harper, in a bid to escape her past, joins the crew of the Wayfarer. Then the Wayfarer receives its mission, a journey to build diplomatic ties with a planet in a war-torn star system. But the book isn't about the mission. It's about the characters on that mission. Rosemary is just one of those characters. The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet is an ensemble piece. Each member of the crew gets their own time in the sun. The flight is over a year long, and across that extended journey we take every opportunity we can to stop by a planet, meet some aliens, and have some fun. The book is structured much like a season of a television show. Each stop represents an episode of that TV show. Conflicts are created, explored, and resolved inside 1 to 2 chapters. Sometimes there are lasting effects that extend to the rest of the book, and other times these are just conflicts, an opportunity for our characters to redefine their relationship with one another and understand themselves more. What that means for this book on the whole is that the engine pushing this book forward isn't as present as other sci-fi. There isn't one big plot line that's constantly moving us on. The danger in your average chapter, it's lower than what you'd expect, but emotionally, things are elevated. Character is the bread and butter of this book. Most everyone on board is an alien or a robot or something else kind of strange. We have Rosemary, human, Dr. Chef, one of the last of their kind, Syzyx, the reptilian pilot, Lovey, the AI with a heart of gold, Ohan, the isolationist navigator, and then a couple of humans. You'll get to know every single one of them as this book goes on. They all have their own quirks, flaws, anatomical curiosities, and dark backstories. But most importantly, they all work through tough conflicts during the book. And an interesting character with deep conflict is always worth getting to know. I'm not going to go into too much detail on the individual plot lines. This book achieves a really good chemistry between its characters. It doesn't take the world too lightly, but it doesn't take it too seriously either. The differences in culture, anatomy, personality, and background all really add to the found family feel of this book. This book's world is your standard sci-fi affair. I'd say it leans more in the safer, cleaner direction of Star Trek than in the roughshod universes of Star Wars or Firefly. The focus of the world building here is on the human and alien cultures. The biggest example is a character called Ohan. Ohan is a cyanote pair, the joining of a quadruped body with a parasite that shortens lifespans and grants Ohan the ability to navigate hyperspace. Ohan's culture, along with the cultures of all the other characters in this book, weave into the story in a really nice way that informs character intention and subtly guides the plot of the book. This next part really isn't world building, but I want to mention moral codes. This book doesn't lean into the idealistic, non-interventionist enlightenment of Star Trek. The crew of this ship are very comfortable sharing their opinions on other cultures and even disagreeing with their fellow crew members. From time to time, a decision one of the characters made really rubbed me the wrong way morally. But this is a book about flawed people finding a home. It shouldn't be a surprise that people make mistakes. One last little nitpick about the world. The Wayfarer is headed to distant edges of the galaxy. That journey is probably pretty close to a straight line. Despite that, our flight takes us past two of our characters' homeworlds and a bunch of places where people know the crew. I appreciate the opportunity to see alien homeworlds, but it definitely feels like either this universe is real small or the crew took the scenic route. The book's big landing is at the end. I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a reason season finales are the most memorable part of TV shows. After spending the book getting to know our characters and understanding their relationships to one another, when a big conflict arrives, those emotional ties hit hard. But it isn't the end of the story. This book is the first in a series, and it feels that way. Don't expect a conclusive ending. Instead, expect change. Expect change in the characters, change in their relationships, and change in their goals going forward. So there it is. Cozy stroll through the galaxy with a zany ensemble. The book did what it set out to do, and once I understood what I was reading, I came to enjoy the serialized TV show feel. And when things got tough for our characters at the end, I had really made connections with them, and I felt for them. If you're looking for a different brand of sci-fi, if you want to travel through space but feel like the right way to do it is with a fireplace and a cup of tea, this might be the book for you. Thanks for watching.